You're listening to the Crystal Clarity Podcast.
Welcome to the Crystal Clarity Podcast. My name is Sarah Thomas, and I will be walking you through this beautiful new episode, episode 16. This is about the Year of the Dragon, and it's also about Pyrite. And this is an episode that you want to really stick around for if you're interested in what the Year of the Dragon really means and how those energies could possibly support you. And if you're interested in what Pyrite can really do in the details of this seriously underutilized stone, something that we've started to see as just like common and normal, but is one of the most powerful alchemical stones in the world. And it's such an important episode for you to stick around for if you feel like power is a theme, in your life right now. If you're like, I don't feel like I'm in the driver's seat of my life, I don't feel like I have my power, I feel like there's a lot out of my control right now, I would love my power back in certain areas of my life. I would like to feel like I'm driving the car again. I would like to feel like I can wake up every morning and like choose and command my life and the energy around me and just like make choices and live the life that I want to live. If you have things up about power, this is definitely the time to slide into some of these supportive, beneficial energies that are here taking care of you in the Year of the Dragon. So without any further waiting, let's step into the real truth about the Year of the Dragon and then the heart of the dragon, which is Pyrite. I'll see you inside episode 16. Well, welcome to episode 16 of the Crystal Clarity Podcast. Oh, I have to get my little board. Welcome to episode 16 of the Crystal Clarity Podcast. My name is Sarah Thomas, and I will be your host for yet another episode. Thank you for waiting for me to get back to you with an episode. I get busy with the students, and you all might know that the Clarity Crystal Shop is a little crystal shop in the mountains that we created that has all real, untreated, completely natural stones and crystals from all over the world that I personally handpick. It has one of the coolest, most beautiful, powerful, ethically sourced inventories in the world. And it's such a special little shop. But the secret about the Clarity Crystal Shop is that it actually just emerged out of our school. And that's called the Upper Clarity School of Stone Medicine. And since 2009, I've been journeying up the Rocky Mountains and down into the dry deserts to share with people what I know about stones and crystals from an ancient Taoist perspective, which is really rare and beautiful and reemergent, and from other traditions all over the world, and from my own practice as an acupuncturist for so long, and making stone and crystal hybrid treatments on people for thousands and thousands of treatments, and watching how stones act on the body in relative to acupuncture needles and how we move energy on the body. And the Upper Clarity School of Stone Medicine is what we really do. That is our heart and our soul is this school. And we teach people how to make stone elixirs and how to do incredible on-the-body layouts and treat people to soul level with stone medicine. That's just really, honestly, our community and the people doing this work are ushering in a new age of crystal consciousness. 50 years ago, there was the revolution of crystal consciousness in the early 70s, and now we're ushering in this whole new age of awareness, which is so poetic and beautiful. And I almost just swore and said the F word because I'm so inspired by it. I was going to say it was so fucking beautiful. So the Upper Clarity School of Stone Medicine is here for you to really kind of recover your inner understanding of stones and minerals, your own intuition, and kind of practice intermediate to advanced techniques with stones and crystals. It's for healers, it's for alchemists, medicine makers, earth healers, land whisperers, like people that are really interested in forging real relationships with earth medicine. So that is the Upper Clarity School of Stone Medicine. And I wanted to let you know that we have these classes and we have these things for you to participate in and learn from and really take your stone medicine and crystal healing to the next level. So, having said that, welcome to the Year of the Dragon. Welcome to the Year of the Dragon. And as I say this, I am sitting here, in this eclipse season that just feels like a massive eclipse season that we're in right now. We're headed towards a full solar eclipse in the US, so everything's going to go dark for a little bit in the US soon, and we haven't had that since it was either 2017 or 2018, and we won't have it again for 25 years or so from now. And it's a massive happening, and these days on the internet, everything is very hyped up and dramatic, and everything, the algorithms all support fear, and how much fear can we get into about the eclipse or the year of the dragon or whatever it is. And we're being fed all of this stuff that is meant to make us afraid and overwhelmed. And this year of the dragon, we're in this eclipse season right now. There's all of this intensity happening at the beginning of the spring in 2024. And wherever you are in time and space, what I'm about to say is going to matter to you. So don't worry if you're watching this from the future. What I'm about to say is very important, because the year of the dragon is about power. And no matter where you are, power is probably the central theme. Power is the most important thing. I could say that right now because our sovereignty is so critical. And getting our power back in our hands and becoming conscious of where our power is and where we throw it away, and who and what is interested in our power, and how to reclaim our power and how to stand in our power. There's nothing more important right now, because when we have power and we're in our power, we are who we naturally are. We are our natural self that is full of an ability to change the world, to contribute to the world, to walk as an awakened presence, to stand with our communities and make a difference just by being there, and help people wake up and walk their spiritual path. And power is just like, I feel like in a way that's just a huge theme of what we're recovering right now at this really critical time in history. So the dragon is the year that we're in right now. And we've got this eclipse season, we've got this dragon energy, and we've got these stories around the world that are just intense. So with the year of the dragon, I wondered if you're interested in me telling you a little bit about that, what that really means. And we get these animal totems, connected to the years from ancient teachings in China. And so whether or not ancient teachings in China matter to you, or if you're like, I resonate with these Chinese years and the year of the dragon, or what are you? Are you a goat or a sheep? All these things. It's like, one thing that I'll say after studying Taoism for so long, and 20 years, is these guys are pretty good. These methods are pretty right on. The things that they see into. And I think that they're so profound and last until this day because they always allowed nature to be their teacher. And when you hear something from like classical Taoism, it's like they're just transmitting to you what nature taught them. And so if there's any system that you kind of want to lean into or listen to maybe a little bit more deeply, these Taoist systems are one to really consider, because they've proved to be correct to me so many times in my life. And I want to cut to the chase about what the year of the dragon is really about. The dragon is the most powerful animal of all of the Chinese zodiac. They are by far the most powerful. It's, if you've ever seen Game of Thrones, that it was like the whole feeling when the dragons would come on the screen and the dragons would come around is that everything was just minuscule in power compared to the dragons. The whole, fate of the world depended on who had the dragons and who was the mother of dragons and who could control the dragons, because the dragons could blow away the army with one breath of fire, and whoever had control of the dragons was going to rule the world. If you can remember that show, or just like feeling the power of those dragons, that's it. The dragon is the most powerful animal in the whole Chinese zodiac. So we are talking about power this year. We're talking about a power that just puts everything into such a different perspective because it's such a massive power. And one thing that we want to, just like first of all, sit and feel with that theme, like the energies of this year are supporting our awakenings around that theme. And what's also critical to understand that is not so often talked about is that the dragon gets its power from a certain source. The dragon gets all of its power from the earth. And the real mother of dragons is the earth. If you ever wondered who is the real mother of dragons, it's the earth herself. And she is who they are in love with and who they come from and who they listen to and who they take orders from. And all of their powers emerge from the power of the earth. The earth is the most powerful element in Taoist five element theory. It's the most powerful because the earth is this, you just have to kind of imagine being in the past, just observing nature and not being filled with your head with all these things all the time. The earth is massive and unmovable and fixed and unchangeable. And you can build on it. You can build castles on it. You can build the world on it. You can build cities to the sky on the earth. It's the most solid, stable foundation. It's unmovable, right? It's unchangeable. That's power. That incredible stability that the earth provides, that's power. So the earth itself holds the power. It's the most powerful element. And when you dig down into it and you're like, why? It's actually the stability of the earth. It's the unchangeable, unmovable, unbreakable aspect of the earth. The earth is pure foundation. How are you going to knock over a foundation? It's like a turtle. It's like it's always going to win the race. It's just got this immense, massive power. And for those of you guys that think about earth medicine, as a way of consciousness or a way of awakening, one of the things about earth medicine is it is like a turtle. It's like sometimes our awakening with the earth are slow and steady, but they'll always win the race because they're unmovable and unshakable. So the dragon draws all of its power from the stability of the earth, and it's actually an earth element animal. And this is the year of the wood dragon. But take wood and just like put it over here for a second, because what we really want to understand is the nature of the animal itself for right now, which is of the earth. And that's how it gets all of its power, stability. So let's look at our lives for a second. And first of all, in the year of the dragon, it's something to think about is, what in your life is unstable? What in your life feels like it's eroding your ability to just stand and be fixed and be stable? What in your life is erratic or chaotic or kind of the opposite of steadfast, right? To stay with something, to be able to count on something. Is there anything in your life that just feels like it's the opposite of being able to count on something? It's just moving and changing all the time, and it's just erratic and it's all over the place and you can't count on it. So when you feel like you can't count on these big aspects of your life, there's an instability there. And that instability creates a powerlessness or a feeling of, I can't get in my power. I can't get in that place where I can start to build on the energy and move forward, right? Power is all about just building on the energy step by step by step and moving forward. And then what's underneath you is unmovable. So think about that just first of all for this year of the dragon, that I think that you're going to become conscious about the things that are unstable in your life and that are causing instability in your life, and just start thinking about those things. Just become conscious of what they are. And maybe there's a possibility that you could step away from some of those things or eliminate some of those things. Maybe there's a possibility just by becoming conscious of what's creating instability in your life. Some of those things will start to change just because of your awareness about it. So the dragon is power, and power is stability, and power and stability come from the earth. Now think about this for a moment in the year of the dragon. If you want to be resonant with these energies and allow these energies to support you this year, just think about power in your life. And for me, it's easy to think about powerlessness in my life and the places where I feel like I'm just not in the driver's seat. Like something else is driving and something else is steering the ship. There's places in my life where I feel out of control. Like, for example, I have had this whole, ever since my CPA retired, I've had this whole run around trying to find CPAs, and these, they're all retiring right now apparently, and they're really hard to get and work with. And um, I've like, I'll get with this one, and then there's all this instability there with that person. I'll get with this one, and they turn out not to be a real CPA. And it's just been this like funny thing in my life where I can't get this real CPA. So I'm like feeling like I'm not in the driver's seat with it. It's like I want to be able to have someone solid and stable to help me with my taxes and all of this. And I'm like, I can't get in the driver's seat. I feel like someone else is driving. And that's a feeling of powerlessness. And I was just talking to my friend who, her friend had a really horrible experience in her life. And my friend, who is trying to support her, just feels so powerless in the face of what's happening. Like there's just nothing she can do, and she feels like she's almost spinning. And that feeling of powerlessness started to create some headaches and some issues. And it wasn't something that she could name where she was like, I just feel powerless about this. But when I checked her pulses, and her pulses kind of revealed it all, that it feels like to her like someone else is driving. She can't do anything about the horrible experience going on in her friend's life, and it feels like someone else is driving the car. Now, do you have anywhere in your life where you're like, I just feel like somebody else is driving, I can't get my hands on the wheel, I feel so powerless about this whole situation, right? Those places where it's like you just want to lean into the center and get into the power of it, and like be able to take it over and take back over, and like every day wake up and be like, I'm in command of this day. I control what happens here. Those places in your life where you're feeling the opposite of that, that is just something to become conscious of. It's just something to become conscious of right now. Just be like, where are those places in my life where I feel like I just cannot get in the driver's seat? That's hard for the heart, because the heart is such a sovereign being. It's like a queen or a king. It's so beautifully sovereign. If you think of like the perfect ruler, like the perfect king or queen, or the perfect, alpha male, or the perfect like strong feminine. It's like they don't need to say that they're the alpha male or say that they're the strong feminine. It's like they just are. And there's something about that sovereignty, like where you don't have to push for it or fight. You just are that benevolent ruler. You just are sovereign. There's such a naturalness to that for the heart. And the heart always actually makes it there by some form of surrender. But it's hard on our heart when we don't feel in control and we feel like someone is driving, because it's so natural for it to just be sitting in its throne, feeling in control. So become conscious of the places in your life where you don't feel power. And I just want to throw in that one of those places where we often don't feel power is in our addictions, and we all have countless multitudes of addictions because of the way that the self and the mind are continually distracted, and the way that the self is set up to just like avoid pain and avoid softening into going within and being present. The mind is just set up like that. So we have all of these little things that we could call addictions. But the thing about addictions is when they really kind of get their hooks in us, is when we feel like we can't change. It's like, I know what I need to do, but I can't change. I know exactly what I need to do, but I just can't change. That is powerlessness. It feels like something else has control, something else is driving, and there's such a feeling of powerlessness. So also just become conscious of like the way that you're feeling around some of your addictions. If you have been gripped that you can't change it, that is something to be aware of this year. And all you have to do, I keep saying this, is just become conscious of it. Like, it's not about trying to push it or trying to survive it or trying to fix it, because that's just the mind coming in again, or the self coming in again. Just start by the process of being conscious of it. And then we often just think like, well, how can I soften into and accept where I am? And the funniest thing is when we soften into and accept where we are, and maybe even throw in a little like ask for help. Okay, I feel pretty helpless here. I feel like I need some help. It's like that's when things begin to change. And I just described AA kind of, but it's like we get to that point where we know we need help. There is a letting go like the heart surrendering, and that's when we begin to change and start to feel that sovereignty again. So this is a year I feel like where you could be really supported in your addictions, and supported in becoming conscious of your addictions, and supported in getting like a lot of grace around feeling like in those places where you just feel like you're not in control. Getting some grace about like feeling back in the driver's seat and feeling like a king or a queen again, and like you can just sit on your throne. So those are some themes about the year of the dragon and how to be in this energy. And I want to talk to you really briefly about Jade, because Jade is the sovereign one. In Chinese medicine, its name literally reflects like the king or the queen or the sovereign one. It means the one that is empowered, who wakes up every day and can make their own choices and has their own power and is in the driver's seat. So Jade is such an important stone. This is a dragon. Oh, I wish you would just focus. Let's see. Oh, this is a green piece of jade with a dragon on it right here. So jade is just such an important stone in Chinese history, because here's another dragon on yellow jade. Because you can, I'm just holding jade up for those of you who are listening that have little dragons carved into them, but this is a stone that can support you because of all of the energy. Just, oh my gosh, jade has so many mysteries to it, and we've already done an episode on jade, so check that out. So I won't go into it too far, but jade has a lot of supportive, deep, powerful, stable earth energies inside of it that can really support you. And these things that I've been talking about are super powerful things. You know, coming back into our power is big. So, but what I really want to talk about today and just give you a few minutes to consider and think about is the year of the dragon and its relationship to pyrite. And we get to kind of support ourselves in getting our power back by sometimes holding certain stones or carrying stones or using other applications like elixirs or wearing these stones. And pyrite's just right on the money for us in the year of the dragon. Like, I mean, you know how an animal or a dragon or something can put its wings out, and if it just catches the air the right way, it'll just lift up and be able to ride that energy? That's what I feel like a stone like pyrite can do for you in this year. Like, let you just be in the energy of pyrite in this resonance and just lift your wings up and just let yourself be carried up by this dragon energy and this power energy and this stability energy. So pyrite is just right on the money for us in these talks. It's just such an incredible stone. But one of the things about pyrite that just puts it right in the center, and I'm holding up pyrite again to those of you that are listening. I'm holding up a perfect little pyrite crystal right now that's a perfect cube. And people still say to me, did the earth really make it like that? Or is it cut like that? No, the earth really makes it like that. Like, that is so cool that the earth is making that, right? It's like, can you imagine if you went to another planet and they didn't have things like this and they said, no, our planet makes this? You'd be like, what? This pyrite cube should be worth 10,000 pieces of gold. It's so cool. This cubic crystal structure is full of stability. It's full of stability. It's unmovable. I'm talking about the cubic crystal structure, okay? Pyrite happens to have a cubic crystal structure. So does something like fluorite. Actually, lapis lazuli has a cubic crystal structure at its core. So this cubic crystal structure is full of stability. It's related to the earth element. It is the crystal structure of the earth element because it's unmovable. It's unshakable. It's fixed. You can't, I mean, it's like the center on the NFL football team. It's just like, it's just the one to just like drive you right over. It's the most power. It's so hard. It's like a sumo wrestler. This cubic crystal structure, like, this is something that you can build on. This is something you can count on. This is why bricks are built like this, because we can build on this. This is unmovable, unshakable, unbreakable, and that's stability and that's power. Something else that we have with pyrite, just another resonance, and when these crystals start to layer up these resonances, that's when it's like this magic is actually vibrating off of this crystal because they're layering up these resonances. The next one that I want to talk about is color. And color What are the colors of the earth element? What are the colors of stability and power? The colors are yellow. That's the color of the earth element. And gold, that's the color of the earth element. And some of these honey colors, like honey calcite. So from bright yellow, I'm going to hold up another thing. This kind of looks like a dragon head for the year of the dragon, but I held this up in the last episode, but this is a piece of orpiment. And it looks like a dragon head here, but this color, so yellow, browns, like honey calcites, like think of the color of the earth. The color yellow all the way to all those warm, brown, honey colors, and all the way up to gold itself. These are the earth colors. So any stone that you have, even if it's like citrine, right? That's a quartz, but if it has these golden colors or these honey colors, it's emitting the vibrational resonance of earth, stability. With pyrite, we get both. We get the color of earth, gold, and we get the cubic crystal structure. We get the crystal structure of the earth, cubic. So we get both. This is like double earth energy. And what is earth? It's the center. It's the fixed, unmovable center of all things. It's the most powerful. So the earth is the real mother of dragons, and pyrite has this beautiful double resonance with the gold color and the cubic crystal structure. That's enough for this to be your little magical medallion throughout the year of the dragon. But I mean, it gets even sweeter. It gets even better because look at the chemical composition of this stone. It's iron and sulfur. Out of all of the elements, iron is like the unmovable grandmother. It's like the depth, the heart of nourishment. It's like the deep, deep wisdom, ancient grandmother. And sulfur itself is the alchemical fire. Sulfur comes out of volcanoes. Sulfur is the dragon itself. It's the breath of fire of the dragon itself. And when you bring together iron and sulfur, you get this incredible alchemy between these two elements. And that alchemy is power. And you get so much alchemy because the iron is so yin and the sulfur is so yang. And it's like these two great forces just collide and cause this incredible alchemy. It's like it's a cauldron. It's a dragon's walking on the earth. It's like an unmovable cauldron of fire and alchemy that's been burning for millions of years. That's the chemical composition of pyrite. I mean, it actually has dragon's breath in it, like a grandmother's dragon fire in it compositionally. And then it's also got the gold color and the cubic crystal structure. Pyrite is one of the most underused, underutilized. People don't realize its power because it's common. It's formed in so many different ways. So we look at this and we've started to take it for granted. But this is one of the most incredible alchemical stones that will put you on such an alchemical journey just by having it as a tool. And it's something that you can be supported in the year of the dragon, exploring these deep, important themes of power by, getting your pyrite necklace back on. Holding pyrite while you meditate, sleeping with it in your bed, having it on your nightstand, just letting it be your stone of the times. Just such a great ally for stability through this eclipse season too. And, the eclipse season will come to an end and the year of the dragon will come to an end. And still, what is unmovable, what will always still be standing is pyrite and your ability to stand in your power. That is my statement about the year of the dragon and the themes that are surrounding us right now. I mean, imagine being in a year that has like massively more power than all of the other years. It's really time to have those changes that you've been looking for. It's really time for those addictions that you've had to fall away, or however this looks for you. So it's time. You've got an incredible, massive energy supporting you. So thank you all for coming, and major, massive, fiery blessings on your year of the dragon. I'll be standing with you unmovable all the way. See you in the next episode.